There, his family and neighbors were still stuck in dreams, oblivious to his pilgrimage. The moon was highest in the sky when Teresa startled from sleep, her face wet. Outside, Barrio Avila slept peacefully. La Guardia Railroad sprawled out like a fat, tired snake, dividing Teresa's lonely house from the rest. The newly installed street lamps stood sentinel, their heads swarmed by lazy gnats and tiny things that touched the lights and fell to the track below. Trees gossiped in the hush. 2 hounds lapped up each other's urine. A cane toad's croaking haunted streets and shadowed corners. Teresa rubbed her eyes of sleep and picked her ears of echoes. The humidity trapped in the bedroom lay atop her, thick as caramel. In a tender reflex, she felt gently for her grandmother's arm, but the sheets beside her were dry and undisturbed. A reflex she couldn't shake, even though it had been many years since her grandmother died.
"Saints are just devils who cut off their tails,"
her grandmother's voice said in the darkness. She'd been a famous soothsayer and sage, an encyclopedia of proverbs and sayings. Again, the echo of those saints and devils. It had been her grandmother's greatest wisdom. She spoke of those who sanctified themselves by ridding their lives of vices and wickedness. But eventually she decided on a plain, simple addendum to her own adage.
"Men are the devils, and women the saints. And every woman is born with a sharp machete inside her heart. She must learn to wield it, to cut off men's tails."
Women far and wide subscribed to her grandmother's gospel, and she even advised Teresa to keep the tail locked away from the things she loved.
"If you were to open my drawer, the tails would scramble and jump out like vipers," her grandmother confessed. "They would slither away and try to reattach themselves."
Teresa looked to her rattling nightstand, its varnished wood glimmering in the moonlight. There she had locked away the only tail she'd ever collected, her husband's, Jose Maria's. A man's voice broke through her radio static. "It's almost midnight, folks, and it's a scorcher," crooned the announcer. "This next song is for all the lovers out there." Historia de un Amor played in a sensual, somber cloud. It was a familiar song for those who couldn't sleep. Edie Gourmet's seductive soprano filled the bedroom. A trio of guitars accompanied the velour of her voice. A damp nightclub smoke blew out from the speaker and danced a lazy bolero with the humidity. "Tonight, the moon turns red as a heart," said the radio announcer before signing off. "So hold that lover close." Another of her grandmother's sayings bubbled up in Teresa's memory.
"Beware of rainless nights. Never let your husband stand directly beneath a blood moon. His body will beckon for his tail, and it will find him with the help of the light."
Her nightstand quieted, and Teresa felt the other side of the bed again. Not for the memory of her grandmother this time, but for Jose Maria. He should have been home hours ago to escort her to the theater. They'd been invited by Cristina, Teresa's best friend, who lived across the street. But Jose Maria never showed up, so Teresa had gone to tonight's play without him. Teresa's head pulsed, and she couldn't quite remember how she'd gotten to bed. She sat up, filing through the day's memories. She'd woken up at 5 a.m. to make coffee. Jose Maria was already awake, sitting sullenly at the kitchen table. It was the largest banana harvest of the year, so Teresa assumed he was mentally preparing for the day, and despite the rest of the country observing Holy Week,